the cause is only part of the story. Since hearing the first booms on Sunday, people say they want to get things back to normal as quickly as possible. Fox 11's Ben Krumholtz is in Clintonville tonight, and the past 2 days, actually. He's joining us now live. And Ben, what's the mood there like tonight?
Well, Michelle, a growing number of people are becoming more and more worried, and they do want answers. And I'm guessing the number of people is expanding because just in the last hour there are more reports of booms and neighbors coming out saying their house is shaking. My photographer says he felt it for a second night in a row. However, city officials say they still don't know what's happening. After 2 days, the unusual booming and shaking is becoming more common in Clintonville.
There was like 3 booms and then 1 good shake.
All night long we're hearing the rumblings, the booms going on.
With no answers on the horizon, Steve Shelton is thinking about what to do.
I asked my wife, should we look into earthquake insurance perhaps?
He is one of a growing number of people in the community who want to know a cause sooner rather than later.
It's the unknown that really scares a lot of people, including myself.
Nobody seems to know. Could be terrible, could be bad, could be good, who knows?
It's obviously frustrating, probably more than anything. We obviously don't want people to feel unsafe or insecure in their community and in their homes.
City leaders spent the day rechecking possible causes for the mysterious booms, and now they hope to catch them in action. Video cameras and audio recordings have been set up on shakeable items in hopes of documenting the unusual rumblings.
We've set up recording a number of things to see if even in that split second that you can tell that there was movement.
Some residents say instead of waiting for the booms to happen again, they are debating alternate plans.
Do we just kind of go away until this is all settled, or do we stay around and see what happens? So.
Well, at 3:30 this morning, heard a lot of rumbling and ground was shaking.
And tell me, describe it. I mean, was it loud bangs or rumble, or what was it like?
It was solid bang, like car crash or something like that.
And was it loud enough to keep you awake?
Oh yeah, I definitely could not fall asleep after that.
Did you go outside?
Yep, I sat outside for a good hour and a half, just listening to it and feeling it.
What do you think it was doing it?
I have no idea. It almost was like an earthquake or something.
Do you think it'll come back tonight?
I don't know. I kind of hope it does. It was kind of cool.
My mom told me about the booming when I was working, and I didn't hear or feel anything. I was working right down at Secret, down the road. And I heard it when I got home at midnight a little bit, and then about 3:30 I woke up and it was consistent. It was one right after another. There was booming and it was shaking the house.
And what did you think was happening?
I thought it had something to do with the gas lines, because we were hearing it a couple weeks before that. It was just sporadic.
So how loud on like a scale?
It varied. Sometimes it was quiet and then there was loud ones. It seemed like it was traveling.
When was the last time you heard it?
This morning.
What time was that?
Probably around 11.
So what have you heard as far as rumors or what you think might cause it?
Everything. I've heard that there's a meth lab underground. I've heard that there's an earthquake. Pretty much everything.
What are your thoughts about what is happening in Clintonville?
Very puzzling. There aren't any known earthquake faults close by, and there's no real obvious cause for what's happening. People have suggested so-called cryogenic earthquakes, which is what happens when the ground gets frozen and expands, but it hasn't been cold in a long time now, and we've had record warmth, so that's pretty much out of the question.
Okay. Also suggested an earthquake boom.
Well, that's just, that really doesn't have any meaning. That's just a sound given off by an earthquake, so that amounts to saying there was an earthquake.
All right, and then what about natural gas? Not a pipeline, but is there something else that, can you explain that something else that occurs naturally that may cause something like this?
The bedrock under Clintonville is pretty much granite with a little bit of sandstone, so there are no obvious sources of natural gas. One possibility is groundwater moving through fractures might be setting up some vibrations, but that's just speculation.
Having been out there yesterday, somebody also suggested that the water table is so low that the bedrock is collapsing?
That's actually a reasonably good hypothesis. You know, if the amount of water in the fractures in the bedrock is less than normal, the rocks might be settling.
And it would cause booms like that?
Conceivably.
Yeah. And then this just in today, the earthquake in Mexico, would that have any effect on what's happening in Clintonville?
I haven't even heard about it. Fill me in.
There's I guess there was an earthquake today registered in Puerto Vallarta. Like around, I just saw it on the news when I came in. I think it was like around a 7.0 or something like that.
Well, okay, it might have been a fairly strong earthquake, but that's 2,000 plus miles away, so the effect on Clintonville will be just about zero. The closest things the U.S. Geological Survey has picked up is tiny events in southeast Missouri and West Virginia, and they're 1,000 miles away. So they haven't picked up anything in Clintonville. So it's a purely local source of noise.
So quite a mystery. Have you ever seen anything like this or heard about anything like this?
I've had people call in saying that they heard mysterious sounds around their house, and I've heard reports of some of these cryogenic earthquakes, but having an entire town report booming and you know, vibrations, I haven't seen that before. It is a mystery.
Have they, has the city or anybody, have they contacted you or the university at all?
The city's mostly been talking to Madison. Nobody from Clintonville has contacted me.
The city leaders have kept in contact with geology professors at UW-Madison. However, no professionals have been on the ground here in Clintonville yet, although the city's administrator told me earlier that if the boomings did continue tonight, which apparently they have according to some, that there is a group on standby in Green Bay, an engineering group that would be here potentially tomorrow morning. And once again, like last night, residents are being asked to call police if they see, feel, or hear anything out of the ordinary. Reporting live in Clintonville, Ben Krumholz, Fox 11 News.